I don't have a formal education in photography, and I tend not to work in projects. I tend to just make images and then in the editing process pull together images which I feel have a certain feel or similarity, and then putting those images into different files and then mixing them up and printing them and looking for sort of patterns within them. But the project, if I could call it that, started with the landscape images. You'll see there are certain images in there. These ones, for instance, of landscape, of forest, of trees. The project started with those images and these pathways through the forest. And where I live here on the south coast of England, there is a national park and a forest just behind where we live in our garden, and we can get to this forest from our garden. And I was originally taking a lot of photographs in the forest. You can see the picture on the right there. That's a good example of it. And it was just purely landscape images at first. I was making these images. There's a disease in some of the trees called, what's it called? It's called ash dieback, and it's a fungal disease which these trees have got, and it's causing lots of them to lose their leaves, to die, to turn white, and eventually to fall. And these dying trees I found fascinating, so I was often out in the forest early in the morning. We get a lot of mist here because we're close to the coast as well. So I was making these sort of atmospheric images of the landscape and the forest and these dying trees. And while I was doing this, the COVID pandemic happened, and I could see this parallel with the virus which was spreading through the human population and these trees which were dying from this fungal disease. And there was the kind of ideas, the seeds for a project came from this. So I started putting those images together, making more of them, getting up into the forest. And that was where the idea was going originally. And I was wondering if I could perhaps make this into a book.